Hey, mama. Have you ever found yourself thinking, I have too many business ideas that I want to implement now? And all of these business ideas, they're great ones, but let's be real. As a mama running a business, your time and your capacity are limited, and you don't have the time to implement all of these things at once. And so, how do you decide on when to implement a new offer in your business? Well, that is what we're going to talk about today. I am sharing 3 strategies to help you decide on when to implement a new offer in your business. So that way you aren't just sitting with all of these business ideas swirling around in your head. All right, mama, let's get into today's episode. Hey, mama, are you tired of feeling stressed and overwhelmed trying to grow your online business with your babies at home? You desire more flexibility in your day, allowing you to pour into your family, yourself, and your business without running yourself into the ground. Mama, you can build your dream business and do it in a way that fits your current season of life. And I'm going to show you exactly how. Welcome to the Mama Turned Mompreneur podcast. I'm your host, Andria Singletary, daughter of the king, wife, mama of 2, and life and business coach for mompreneurs. On this podcast, you will learn business strategies made for mamas just like you, who desire to be successful CEOs and fully present mamas without stress or overwhelm. So whether you're an entrepreneur who transitioned to a mompreneur or a mama turned mompreneur, I am here to support you. So grab your coffee, notebook, and pen, put in those earbuds, and let's dig in. Okay, so if you have ever thought, I have too many business ideas that I want to implement now, know that you are not alone. 2023, I had all of the business ideas and I implemented them all. And honestly, it wore me out. And so I really had to learn how to, really know when was the best time to implement a new offer in my business, but also if I actually needed to do it. So I'm going to share these strategies with you. This should be a short episode. We'll see how it goes. But the first strategy is, and you guys know, I say this with everything. Look at your current season of life. And I say this because depending on what is going on in your life when you have this new business idea, does it make sense? Is it something that you can realistically implement and execute the way that it needs to be done in order for you to see those results, in order for you to fully support, clients in this offer? And so you're going to hear me say this probably on just about every podcast episode. I don't care if we're talking about marketing. I don't care if we're talking about how you structure your business. I don't care if we're talking about your offers. I am always going to say, does it fit your current season of life? Because that is going to determine everything. What season of motherhood you're in, what you have going on in your life personally, the level of support you have from your spouse, your family, whoever, all of that is going to play into how much time and capacity you have to execute different things in your business. So look at your current season of life. Does this offer make sense for that? So going into 2024, I knew I needed to slow down just because we were dealing with different things personally, with myself. I haven't shared this with you guys on the podcast, and I'll probably do an episode on it, but towards the end of 2023, my son was diagnosed with autism. And so that added in a whole new layer with how I could run my business. And so I knew that I needed to simplify things even more. And so going into 2024, I was like, I'm only going to focus on 2 offers. And so as you guys are seeing, I'm only talking about life and seasons coaching and my Get It Done week. That is the main focus. That is how I am primarily supporting clients in this season of my life because that is what I have the capacity for. And so that is what I had to look at. And that is like my mindset, how I am framing things, like when things are presented to me, whether it's speaking opportunities, collaborations, different things like that, I am focusing it through that lens of, does it fit my current season of life? And so that's what you have to do too. Does it make sense for you to implement this offer right now? Do you actually have the time and the capacity to execute it and to really support clients the way that they want, the way that you're envisioning it, the way that they need. So that way it is a good experience for both you and your clients. The next strategy is this something that your audience actually needs? Is it something that they actually want? You know, sometimes as business owners, we can see like where gaps are for our ideal clients and what they need. But the thing is that just because you see it, your audience and your community may not be ready for it. They may not be ready for that level of support. They may not be ready to focus on that specific problem. Now, yes, you can start educating them on it, bringing awareness to it, and get them ready for it. But you want to make sure they're actually ready for it and it's something that they want and need where they're currently at in life and business or however you're supporting them before you create this offer and launch it. And then you're upset because nobody's buying it. Well, they weren't ready for it. So that is something you want to consider too. So this is where I've talked about it before, market research. You can really find out one, where your community is at, whether or not this is something they are ready for, whether or not it's something that you need to start really bringing awareness to and, educating them on and getting them kind of up to speed. Like, hey, you got this problem that needs to be dealt with right now because it's affecting you in X, Y, and Z ways. But you want to make sure they're actually ready for it. They're actually primed for it and everything. And of course, that'll be part of, the launch process, but you want to make sure that even before you get to that part where you're priming your audience for this offer, that they're already aware of this problem and they actually have a need. They actually are ready to, be supported in this area and everything, because it may not be that big of a problem for them right now. And that's okay. You know that it's something that's going on. And so you can hold off on it until they're actually ready for it. And then the third strategy is, and this one is something I had to learn too. Is this something you actually want to implement? You don't have to implement every idea you get. You don't have to fulfill every single need of your community. This is where networking, collaborating, building relationships with other entrepreneurs with areas of expertise outside of your area of expertise is important, because you can develop partnerships like referral partnerships and different things like that with other entrepreneurs. You can work with other entrepreneurs where you guys can collaborate and build out an offer together where it's a need that your clients need. But instead of you trying to fulfill it, you're working with this other entrepreneur who can fulfill that need while you're supporting your clients with in the area where you're the expert in. So know that you have the freedom to say no to these ideas, or you can think of creative ways where you're not the one that's having to actually execute the offer and build out the offer or do it by yourself. You have other options. So I know that this is something that, like, especially when you truly care about your community, and not to say like other people don't, but like when you want to see your community succeed and you want to be able to make sure that they are like getting like where they need to be in all these different areas, you may feel this pressure to try to support them in it. And you don't have to. Like, for instance, with me, I have had clients come to me about video podcasting and YouTube and all of that. YouTube is not my area of expertise. I am not a video editor. I'm not a videographer. I'm none of that. And I tell them that. I tell them, like, well, my husband does it, but he's not in that season of life where he's ready to start taking on clients like that. And so I have had to connect with other people who I can, refer clients to who they want to add in that video component, at least until my husband, he's in a season of life where he's really ready to like do the whole entrepreneur thing and stuff. I'm working on him. I'm trying to retire you, babe, and we can make it happen faster if you start doing a little freelancing work. Anyway, that's a side note. But you don't have to learn these different skills if you don't want to. You don't have to try to become an expert in these different areas if it doesn't feel good to you. Even like when it comes to email marketing, even though I support my clients with it, I tell them, one, if you want to like really learn strategies to grow your email list quickly, Kylie Kelly is the woman you need to talk to. I have gotten quite a few of my clients into her Spotlight Club because I've experienced the benefits of working with her. And yeah, I know some strategies, but she is the expert in it. So I direct them to her. When it comes to, writing email copy, I can give them some feedback and some input and strategies, but I tell them full transparency, I use templates. I am in Jenny Roth's email membership. I think it's called, I can't remember what it's called right now. I'll link it in the show notes. And I use her templates and they work. Like my open rate and my click rates have gone up so much just by using her templates. Now, when it comes to the templates, I'm not just taking word for word what she's saying. I'm infusing my personality. I'm changing it so it sounds like me, all of that. And that is something I can support my clients with because I really learned how to do that. But I'm like, if you want to know what to say, how to actually structure your email, Jenny's your girl for that. And so I'm not going to try to be like a jack of all, or I should say Jane of all trades. I'm not going to do that because I'm going to burn myself out trying to do that, trying to be everything that my clients need. They don't need that from me. What they need from me is how to build a business that fits their current season of life and simplifying and streamlining on all of that. I can support them with that. And how to actually use a podcast as an effective marketing strategy, how to use it to generate leads for their business, how to use it to not just generate leads, but nurture and convert their listeners into their paid offers and programs on autopilot. Those are my areas of expertise. That is how I support my clients. Anything extra comes to copywriting, all of that, I have people that I can refer them to. That's what you can do. You don't have to do it all. Your clients don't need you to do it all. If they come to you, like if you're seeing like a specific problem is coming up again and again and again, and it's not something where you either want to serve them in or you can serve them in, have somebody that you can refer them to. Have somebody that you know and trust. And I bet you that person, especially if you're sending them quite a few clients, you can develop a referral partnership. They will give you a percentage of the sales. And not to say that they have to, or that's why you should go into it, but it can be mutually beneficial. And also know that just because you are referring your clients out to other people, it doesn't mean that they are going to stop working with you. They still have a specific need that they know you can fulfill. And so they're going to go to you for that. So don't like there is enough room in the online space for all of us. And I know this is something that comes up and people can feel kind of like iffy about. There's enough room for all of us. There's enough clients for all of us. Clients are going to work with more than one person for different things because they have different needs and you can't fulfill all of them. You're one person. Okay. And then I have a bonus strategy for you. Now, this is for my ADHD mamas. When you have ADHD, you get ideas coming at you left and right, and it's at the most random times. And if you do not write it down in that moment, you're going to forget it. It's going to be gone forever. And it's going to make you mad because you know it was a really good idea and you're frustrated. You're trying to like recreate whatever it is that you were doing to see if it'll trigger you and bring back that idea. So to navigate this, you want to always have something near you where you can either write it down or put it somewhere so you know that idea is there. So for me, that looks like either always having my phone in my pocket or somewhere nearby me. So that way in my notes app, I can quickly jot it down. And I promise you, you guys, if you were to go on my phone and look at my notes app, you will see all these ideas because I can be in the middle of washing dishes and an idea will come like that. And I was like, oh, shoot, where's my phone? I need to write this down. I'm going to forget. And that's just how it happens. Like, that's how your brain works when you have ADHD. So either having your phone nearby, another thing I do is have Post-it notes everywhere and a little pen. So I could jot it down really quick. Having a notebook nearby. Like I said, inspiration strikes at the most random times, especially when you have ADHD. And so you don't want to forget those ideas because they're amazing ideas. And this is, like I said, I really do this when it comes to like podcast content because I'm telling you, I can be reading something, I can be talking to somebody, I can hear a song, and an idea for an episode will come to me like that. And so I make sure in that moment, especially like I'm thinking on it right then, I jot down like the overall like podcast topic. And then I'll even like the bullet points, like the main points I want to cover. I literally, like I said, I have so many notes in my phone that are like this, where it's literally I map out an entire podcast episode because it just happens at random. So if you have ADHD, or maybe this is just how your brain works, where you just have ideas strike at random, always have something nearby where you can jot those ideas down. Now, yes, you may not be able to implement it right now, but it doesn't mean you will never be able to implement it. Seasons of life change. Your time and your capacity will increase, especially as your kids get older, especially as different things happen, whether that's, like I said, you gain family support or something like that. So I've shared on the podcast before, like my mom, she was living in New Mexico most of last year. She moved back to California in October. And so now I have that support from her. And so there have been times where she has come over like in the evenings during the week, or if it's like a holiday or something, and she will take the kids and I'm able to do things and different things like that. And so that has given me more time and more capacity to be able to do more things and whatnot. So know that this season of life, it won't be this way forever. And so you want to write those ideas down. You want to have them somewhere safe that you can go back to. So that way, as your time and your capacity increases, then you can implement it. Okay, this episode went a little bit longer than I thought, but it's still under 20 minutes. But if you find yourself in the situation where like you have all of these business ideas and you're feeling overwhelmed, I can support you. This is something that I see with many of my clients because they are ambitious, they are high achieving, they are smart, intelligent, driven women. They have all of these ideas. And I'm like, baby, we are going to write these ideas down, but we are going to look at which ones make sense for your current season of life. And then we're going to implement those. And that is something I support my clients with. I am real with them. Like I can hear it in my clients' voices when they are overwhelmed. Like that is a gift that God has given me where I can literally, you can be like trying to sound like you're okay and everything like that. But I know when you're overwhelmed, I know when you're stressed, I know when you're doing too much, and I'm going to tell you. And we are going to look at what we need to change and make it so that way you're not running yourself into the ground. And we are going to look at your current season of life. So if that is the level of support you need, if that is the type of coaching you are looking for in this season of your life, I want you to head over to mamaturnmompreneur.com/coaching and complete the application. So that way we can see if we are a good fit to work together and go from there. You do not have to figure this out on your own. I am all about supporting you with building a business that fits your current season of life. And I'm going to show you how. I'm going to equip you with the tools and strategies that you need to do that, because you can have a profitable business with your babies at home with you. It is fully possible. I am living proof of it. You can do this. All right, mama, that's it for this episode, and I will catch you in the next one. Well, mama, that's a wrap on today's episode. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to hang with me. If you enjoyed today's episode, will you do me a favor and follow the podcast and leave a review? Hitting that follow button and sharing your thoughts about the podcast are the best ways to ensure that other mamas like you find this show. Your review also lets me know if you're enjoying this podcast, so make sure to share your thoughts before you go. All right, mama, I'll catch you in the next episode.